Krishna अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय।
Om, page 57. जय शिव शंकर जय शिव शंकर जय शंकर भोले। सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले।
जय शिव शंकर जय शिव शंकर जय शंकर भोले। सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले। जय शिव शंकर जय शिव शंकर जय शंकर भोले। सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले। जय शिव शंकर जय शिव शंकर जय शंकर भोले। सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले। महादेव तूने ही तो सब देवों का संताप हरा। सागर मंथन में निकला विष तूने अपने कंठ धरा। महादेव तूने ही तो सब देवों का संताप हरा। सागर मंथन में निकला विष तूने अपने कंठ धरा। इसीलिए हर प्राणी तुझको नीलकंठ बोले। सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले। जय शिव शंकर जय शिव शंकर जय शंकर भोले। सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले। जय शिव शंकर जय शिव शंकर जय शंकर भोले। सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले। तेरे नाम अनेकों बाबा तेरी महिमा न्यारी। तेरे वेद अनोखे सबसे क्या जाने संसारी। तेरे नाम अनेकों बाबा तेरी महिमा न्यारी। तेरे वेद अनोखे सबसे क्या जाने संसारी। तू ही है कैलाशपति तू पर्वत पर डोले। सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले। जय शिव शंकर जय शिव शंकर जय शंकर भोले। सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले। जय शिव
सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले जय शिव शंकर जय शंकर भोले सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले जय शिव शंकर जय शंकर भोले सब देवों में देव निराले जय बम बम भोले 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 ओम श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय.
The next song is a simple song on the Divine Mother. You may not have the copy, but please try and follow. It's simple words: Jai Jai Bhavani Ma, Ambe Bhavani Ma, Jagadambe Bhavani Ma, Devi Bhavani Ma.
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
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 अम्बे भवानी माँ देवी भवानी माँ
अम्बे भवानी माँ देवी भवानी माँ
जगदम्बे भवानी माँ देवी भवानी माँ
जगदम्बे भवानी माँ देवी भवानी माँ
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
ओ जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
ओ जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
अम्बे भवानी माँ देवी भवानी माँ
अम्बे भवानी माँ देवी भवानी माँ
जगदम्बे भवानी माँ देवी भवानी माँ
जगदम्बे भवानी माँ देवी भवानी माँ
ओ जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
ओ जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
ओ जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
देवी भवानी माँ काली भवानी माँ
देवी भवानी माँ काली भवानी माँ
ओ देवी भवानी माँ काली भवानी माँ
देवी भवानी माँ काली भवानी माँ
काली भवानी माँ दुर्गे भवानी माँ
काली भवानी माँ दुर्गे भवानी माँ
ओ जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
ओ जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
ओ जय जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
देवी भवानी माँ काली भवानी माँ
देवी भवानी माँ काली भवानी
जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
जय 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 जय भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
जगदम्बे भवानी माँ
जगदम्बे भवानी माँ
जगदम्बे भवानी माँ
जय जय
भवानी माँ अम्बे भवानी माँ
ॐ श्री राम कृष्ण भगवान की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय
Om, page 85. Bhol Hari Bhol Hari Hari Bhol Mukunda Madhava Govinda Bhol
बोल हरि बोल हरि हरि बोल मुकुंद माधव गोविंद बोल
Bhol Hari Bhol Hari
Sisters, brothers, and loving children, it is wonderful to see all of you here today. We were just thinking it's a long weekend, and so happy to see all of you present for Satsang. The little children can go to their classes, and this morning Mr. Yogesh Hulasi will speak about the importance of spiritual practices.
Om Sarada Devi Swarupaya Shri Ramakrishnaya Namaha. A devotee once asked the master, "Sir, is it possible to see God? If so, why can't I see him?" The master replied, "Yes, he can surely be seen. One can see his forms and his formless aspects as well." Prabhajika Ishtapana Mataji, dear sisters and brothers and loving children, Om Namo Narayanaya. This question of seeing God has been asked by many a spiritual aspirant and continues to be asked to this day. It becomes evident that Master says with such conviction that it is indeed possible to see God. However, The question then arises, if it is possible, then why is it that many people still do not see God? The problem is further exacerbated by the fact that in Hinduism, we have God with form and without form. When a devotee once asked the master, why do we have so many divergent viewpoints on this issue? The master replied, a devotee thinks of God as he or she sees him. In reality, there is no confusion about God. God explains all this to the devotee if the devotee only realizes him somehow. You haven't set your foot in that direction. How can you expect to know all about God? The master continues, let me tell you a story. Once a man entered a wood and saw a small animal on a tree. He came back and he told another man that he had seen a creature of beautiful red color on a certain tree. The second man replied, when I went into the wood, I also saw the animal. But why do you call it red? It is green. Another man who was present contradicted them both and insisted it was yellow. Presently, others arrived and contended it was gray, violet, blue, and so forth. At last, they started quarreling amongst themselves. To settle the dispute, they went to the tree. They saw a man sitting under it. On being asked, he replied, yes, I live here. I live under this tree, and I know the animal very well. All your descriptions are true. Sometimes it appears red, sometimes yellow, and at other times blue, violet, gray, and so forth. It is a chameleon, you see. In like manner, one who constantly thinks of God and knows his real nature, he alone knows that God reveals himself to seekers in various forms and aspects. Only the man who lives under the tree knows the chameleon can appear in various colors. It is others who suffer from the agony of futile argument. Thus, what we conclude from here is that one has to keep the mind on God. However, we all know what a difficult feat this is. For instance, one just has to analyze our mind in our daily activities. We, amidst our busy schedule as householders, from the morning to the evening, our mind and attention is constantly dissipated on work, family, friends, Facebook, and TikTok. Social media has become so prevalent in our lives, and it plays an integral role with regards to occupying our minds. When we become so engrossed in our daily activities that it becomes difficult for us to think of God. Thus, as Master indicated, we need to make the effort. We need to take the first step towards God. Most of us are fortunate indeed. This morning when we have come to Satsang, and as such, we have taken this proverbial step. When we make this effort to help purify our minds, God's divine grace becomes operational in our lives. Swami Swahadananda says in his book, Meditation and Other Spiritual Disciplines, achievement of a goal requires great effort, whatever the goal may be. The doctrine of divine grace, which is held supreme by the followers of the devotional path, says that self-surrender to God is the only thing necessary for spiritual realization. It paves the way for the coming of divine mercy. But it is also pointed out that certain qualities of character are necessary before a man is ready to receive divine grace. The devotee whole-souled surrender itself purifies its character and develops these qualities in him. So what are these qualities that we must strive to cultivate? Swami Swahadananda continues, the sattvic qualities mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita fearlessness, purity of heart, steadfastness in knowledge and yoga, reading of scriptures, performing sacrifices, uprightness, non-injury, and renunciation, etc. The Master describes the moment when these qualities are manifest in a seeker. He says, "What are the indications of God's advent into the human heart? As the glow of dawn heralds the rising sun, so unselfishness, purity, and righteousness announces the advent of the Lord." However, the Master repeats the importance of self-effort when he says, "Adopt adequate means for the end you seek to attain. You cannot get butter by crying yourself hoarse, saying, 'There is butter in milk.' You have to churn the milk and turn it into curd, and thereafter churn it as well. Then you will have butter. So long as we long to see God, we have to take to spiritual practices." Now, the question arises, what are these spiritual practices that we should adopt in our busy lives to gradually get the mind to focus on God? Constantly, that is. The Master guides us when he says the following: "Therefore, it is necessary to seek holy company, practice prayer, and listen to the instructions of the Guru. Also, it is important to go into solitude now and then, and always practice discrimination in our daily lives." Now, let us see how we can practice these important principles and guidelines holistically. First, seeking holy company. Essentially, our character and personality are indeed influenced by the company we keep. Being in the company of saints has an unmatched spiritual and positive effect on our minds. We must just observe our minds and thoughts and overall mood after attending satsang, speaking to the holy person, or reading a holy book. Our minds automatically become uplifted and we begin to think of God for some time thereafter. What is it that attracts our minds to holy thoughts and the divine being seated in our hearts? It is the fact that God is eternal, unchanging, and always compassionate to us. It is a supreme power that guides us and protects us. Also, as our scriptures and revered Guru tells us, our real nature is divine, so we are naturally attracted to it. We have forgotten about the Atman within us because we are always preoccupied with our daily work. However, we are not expected to forsake our duties and live in a cave to meditate, but as our Master says, even in the midst of your duties, do not forget God. Do your work with one hand and hold on to God with the other. When your work is complete, hold on to God with both your hands. This is what we must try to practice. It is important to attend satsangs, for in this way we can be with holy company and enjoy the bliss that emanates from singing God's holy name. It is also beneficial to take time to read a passage from a holy scripture or to listen to the scriptures that are on audiobooks. Technology has some great advantages if used correctly. By listening to the divine music or talks on the Gita and the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, for example, we can relax the mind in God thoughts and ultimately find great joy in focusing the mind on God. Next is to practice prayer. Swami Swahananda says, "The most empirical argument in favor of prayer is that it relieves the mind of tension. What is the natural concomitant of a life of hurry and worry? It naturalizes mental repressions and purifies the subconsciousness. Prayer frees a man from anxiety and sustains him in the moments of suffering. Japa, or repeating of God's name, is a form of prayer." The Master says, Japa means silently repeating God's name in solitude. When you chant His name with single-minded devotion, you can see God's form and realize Him. Master gives us an illustration. He says, suppose there is a piece of timber sunk in the water of the Ganges and fastened with a chain to the bank. You proceed link by link, holding to the chain, and you dive into the water and follow the chain. Finally, you are able to reach the timber. In the same way, by repeating God's name, you become absorbed in Him and finally realize Him. Next, the Master advises us about solitude. He says, whenever you have leisure, go into solitude for a day or two. At the time, don't have any relations with the outside world, and don't hold any conversations with worldly people on worldly affairs. You must live either in solitude or in the company of holy men. Now, in this day and age of social media and cell phones, the principle needs to be qualified a little bit. We must try not keep the cell phone on during these moments of solitude or during our sadhana time every day. It is not advisable to post status updates that we are in solitude and something like, whoop whoop, I'm about to meditate in solitude. Don't do that. There's no need to put up a picture of your prayer mat, as we will be more concerned with who viewed our status rather than think of God or try to improve our meditation. Finally, what do we mean by discrimination? The Master says, discrimination is the reasoning by which one knows that God alone is real and everything else is unreal. Real means eternal, and unreal means impermanent. He who has acquired discrimination knows that God is the only substance and all else is non-existent. By turning the mind within oneself, one acquires discrimination, and through discrimination, one thinks of truth. Sri Ramakrishna was born to teach us a simple way to reach God. May we be inspired to pray regularly and transform our minds through sincere prayer and righteous living. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Thank you, Mr. Hulashi. Dear sisters and brothers, we will chant the Hanuman Chalisa, page 234.
Anjaneyaya vidmahe Vayupuraya dhimahi Tanno Hanuman prachodayat. Om Shri Hanumate Namaha. Doha Shri Guru Charana Saroj Raja Nija Mana Mukura Sudhar Varanoi Raghuvara Vimala Yasha Joydayaka Parachar Buddhihina Tanu Janike Sumiro Pavana Kumar Bala Buddhi Vidya Dehoyi Haro Karesha Vikar Siyavaira Ramachandra रघुपति कीन्ही बहुत बड़ाई। तुम्हारा प्रिया भरत सम भाई। सहस दया तुम्हारो यश गावै। अस कहि श्रीपति कंचन गावै। सनकादिक ब्रह्मादि श्री अम्बे अम्बे मात की जय.
Let us sit for a few moments of silent meditation. Please sit up straight and try to keep the head, the neck and the spine in a straight line. Forget about all other thoughts and think of the Ishta Devata, your chosen ideal, whoever you love to worship. Feel that presence in the heart. If you want to open your eyes or close your eyes, it's fine as long as the mind is on God. Holy Mother Sri Sarada Devi says, there should be regular time for the practice of japa and meditation, for no one knows when the auspicious moment will come when you will see God. Regularity in spiritual practice should be observed no matter how busy one may be with worldly duties. I bless you from the bottom of my heart that you live long, attain devotion to God, and enjoy peace. Peace is the principal thing. One needs peace alone. महाराज की जय, महामाई की जय, स्वामी जी महाराज की जय, गंगा मात की जय, महावीर स्वामी जी की जय, सर्व ऋषि मुनियों की जय, पार्वती पतये हर हर महा